Hello everyone, welcome back to the SATAMonkeys podcast. I'm your host, Earth2Fat, and today I'm joined by Bear is Some, or Small Boy Bear.
Hello.
For the first time in a long time, Charles, or Club Me.
I'm back.
He's back.
Yay.
And Melon Wrap.
Howdy.
And we got some interesting articles today. One that came last minute, like within the past 5 minutes actually. But we'll start here with one that doesn't technically have a source because it's a cryptocurrency, and I'm not really sure that there's any source to cite other than the source itself. With that, the source being Audius. I almost said the name of the crypto instead of it. The crypto is called Audio, and the name of the company is called Audius. Audius launched, for some quick background here, Audius launched their cryptocurrency, Audio, as a governance token that's run on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's not necessarily a traditional cryptocurrency, it's a governance token. The idea being that with this governance token, anyone can have any say over what goes on at Audius since it's a community-based platform. And they wanted, they didn't want just themselves to have a say or just investors to have a say. They did a round of, I believe it was 10,000 users, got ranges of different amounts of audio depending on what they uploaded to their accounts and how many views those uploads got. I was one of those 10,000 users. I got about, I think it was 14,000 audio, and I did sell most of it. At the time, I was trading for like 21 cents. And Ethereum's price was 740, which literally, with my luck, of course it did. The next 5 days, it shot up to $1,200. So, amazing luck. But I kind of expected that. I had a feeling that I'd sell it and it would just instantly go up in price like Ethereum would, because you have to convert it to Ethereum first. But I still have a bit of audio left over. I didn't sell all of it. And I joined a group of crypto-minded people, and ever since then I've just been kind of tracking the price of audio and seeing where it goes and how much it rises. According to a lot of predictions, not by people but by AI, it seemed like audio was on track to hit $1 by 2024. Well, in a pretty insane turn of events, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, it has just rallied up and up and up to the point where yesterday at 9:07 a.m. one audio I should correct that. I sent that screenshot then. I don't remember if that was from a different server or at that time, but either way, yesterday, so 3/9/21, audio was trading at $1.30 a token, making one audio token worth more than the US dollar. Which is pretty fucking insane considering just in December it was worth 21 cents and it has now jumped up this much. I should check right now real quick on CoinGecko. Let's see how much one audio token is worth. Right now it's gone down. It's $1.01, which is a little saddening, but regardless, it's still insane. Its all-time high was yesterday, and it was $1.33, so it jumped a bit above that $1.30. But the fact that I don't know if this would be called a crash, it going down by 30 cents like that. But if this is a crash, then it tells me audio itself is probably not going to have any actual drastic crashes ever. If it's only crashing by 30 cents down from its all-time high that it hit in this the same day. But I just thought this was interesting because Audius doesn't promote and cannot legally promote or allow the conversation of in their servers the trading, discussion of trading or selling audio, because if they were to do that, then it would have to be filed with the US government as a cryptocurrency, but it's to them a governance token running on the Ethereum blockchain, so they cannot encourage talk. And it's not in order to be a cryptocurrency you have to be a registered US security, and they're not. So they discourage trading and conversation of it and everything like that. So I don't think they're celebrating this externally because they can't. But it's insane to see something that technically wasn't even meant to be sold become something worth over $1. I genuinely didn't think that would happen this year, let alone in 2024. I figured that was probably a very, very rough estimate that probably wasn't true. But yeah, what do you guys think here? Because I'm I think the only one here who's like an actual like audience head and who's been following them for a long
Yeah.
time. But what do you guys think here?
How much did you save? Or how much audio did you save?
I have about 900 and something audio left over. Like, let's say 960.
Oh, so you have a decent amount left over.
Yeah, I have about $1,000 USD to go by this. I was over $1,000 the other day because it was up to $1.30. But since it's probably gonna fluctuate to 114 by the end of the day, let's say about $1,000 in USD and about 1,000 audio. But yeah, part of me regrets this means selling the 13,000 I did, because that could have now translated to $13,000. And on the other hand, A, I'm still grateful I got it in the first place. I can't, like, I have to state that. I'm not a greedy asshole. But B, per se, I did sell that, right? At that point, I have to file for, like, income tax. I literally get the, like, income tax for, for 2021, I don't know, but for 2020 it was $12,200, and for 2019 it was $12,400. So let's say 12,000, assuming it goes down again, or just as a general thing. I would be over that. Could I have sold a bit less of it? Yes, but I don't. If something's this high, I want to sell it now. But so I'm kind of in many ways I'm happy that I didn't sell it for $14,000, because it's gonna be like, oh yeah, time to get the shit taxed to oblivion. But yeah, I've been looking into buying more audio. But my biggest issue I'm coming up with right now is it's only available to buy in two ways. There's Binance, which you can buy directly, and Uniswap. Binance, it's audio. Buying audio, I just like completely just stop speaking normally. You can only buy audio through Binance in other countries other than the US because of the fact that audio is not a registered security in the US, so they don't want to offer it like that. I don't know how Uniswap have permission to, but they do, and you can trade Ethereum for it. I guess that's how they're doing it, like trading. You can trade Ethereum for it on Uniswap. You can exchange it for audio. The biggest issue right now is, even if, let's say I want to trade one audio, so $1 for however 0.000 whatever Ethereum, right? It says here $1.01 is worth 0.000560013 Ethereum, right? Let's say I want to do that. Because of Ethereum gas prices, the fee, like the Ethereum gas price fee, last time I checked, is $167 for that. For $1. So that's what's been preventing me from investing, because I don't have that kind of money to spend on like transfer fees. Which is the only thing stopping me from like recommending to people watching to invest in audio, because it's you're gonna invest, like, if you're gonna invest in it, you're gonna want to invest like at least $1,000, because $167 transfer fee is ridiculous, and investing any less than $1,000, in my opinion, is just not gonna be great returns with the amount it's going to cost you just to transfer it. And keep in mind too, if it in order to here's the other big issue. You can only sell it directly as well, I believe, through Binance. So the only other way to sell it in the US is Uniswap. And for the record, if you're gonna try and skirt US law, or maybe, I don't know if it's technically illegal or not, but you can use a VPN to go to Binance non-US and sell it. Do I think that's illegal? Yes. Do I know? No. It's very unclear. That's the only way I know to direct sell it. But the only way to sell it in the US legally is via Uniswap, by again trading it for Ethereum and then selling that Ethereum. The issue arises with, like, at least my original issue was I didn't know how to sell it in the US, because you can't sell it through MetaMask. They won't buy Ethereum off you. And you can't sell it through Uniswap. They won't buy Ethereum off you. The only way I found was Coinbase. And it's registered under my dad, since I'm not 18. And you have to like submit your ID and everything. He did that, and it wouldn't register the ID for some reason. And I kept having this issue where I just couldn't get, like, I'd try and log in, and the whole page would just be errors. The only way I found that it works is if you use the fucking mobile app, you can actually do shit if the ID thing doesn't work. I also don't know why they require an ID for like having crypto traded into your account and then selling it, because the ID part only, if I'm correct, would actually matter for buying it through them, and I didn't buy it through them, so it's kind of stupid.
Probably just in case to cover their ass.
Yeah, and the part of the ID thing is Coinbase at the end of every year they send out, or not every year, but like towards tax season they send out tax forms and everything because cryptocurrency is taxable. Audio is
Since when?
since 2019. Well, actually I think before then, but 2019 they updated it. It's been taxable for a little bit though, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I've looked into it extensively because the issue with audio people are running into is since audience don't talk about trading of it, no one knew if it was taxable, and I had to do research to confirm it or not. I'm actually the one who confirmed to a lot of people it is not. Audio itself is not taxable as a crypto because it's not a U.S. security, but B, the only way people obtained airdrops well, I should rephrase this. If you got your audio from an airdrop, like I did, like the 10,000 people did, that is not taxable because the only types of airdrops that are taxable are ones that are hard forks of an existing crypto. Like if Ethereum had Ethereum 2, which I believe is an actual thing coming out soon, and is set to like really lighten up the blockchain so the gas prices won't be so expensive. But Ethereum 2 would be a hard fork of Ethereum. A soft fork, alternatively, would be something where it's backwards compatible. But if you're being issued like an airdrop for a hard fork, it's to replace the pre-existing stuff, which will become ultimately worthless. A soft fork just means it can work with that older stuff, but it's just more of it. It's not like replacing it. Audio, by definition, is neither, because it's a governance token, and it is not a hard fork of Ethereum, like it is not Ethereum 2. And it is also not a soft fork because it's not backwards compatible with Ethereum. You have to like trade it in a thing that accepts trades of crypto. The US government does not actually have any governance, anything on that type of crypto. They don't say in their IRS form what happens if it's neither. So although I should preface this too, I am not an attorney. If you're really, or like a tax professional, I would definitely consult a tax professional before you take my word for it. But in my research, and also from talking to Neil Rumberg, the CEO of Audius, audio is not a hard or soft fork, and therefore under IRS guidelines, it is not taxable. The airdrop itself, if you got it from the airdrop, it's not taxable. If you buying crypto itself is not taxable. If you sold your audio directly in the US, which technically is impossible, without without a VPN and then a bunch of, I don't think that's technically legal, but if you sold it somehow in the US, per se to a friend or something, that's taxable. You'd have to report that. And if you traded it, you have to report I believe it's just something with the trade. The only good thing in my situation is the amount I ended up getting back, it was like $2,700, is low enough that it's not taxable. It's not enough for income tax. Yeah, I've given myself dry mouth talking about this so long, but you guys don't know how many hours I had to look into like tax shit to try and figure out is it taxable. Because if you looked in the like 2 weeks ago, if you looked in the audio server they have set up for it, and you looked in like the general questions, it was like every day there was like one or two new people asking, hey, how does audio like fall under US taxes? And no one would answer because they can't, because that's technically related to trading. So I told a lot of them to like manually DM me, or I DM them sometimes. I'm like, hey, just so you know, this is my research into it, and it does not seem to be, but you talk to your tax professional, but you're probably fine. What I will say without a tax professional is even if you sold it, and like first say it was from an airdrop or from a general sale, I won't say a sale of it, because I don't know if that falls under income tax. I believe it does. But what I will say is if you sold it from the airdrop and it doesn't like go over 12,000, let's say just $12,000 in income tax, not income tax, in general income for that year, you're fine. You shouldn't have to report it. The IRS says you can report it because it's the IRS, but you don't have to. So I can say that without being a tax professional. If you made less than $12,000 in this year, which is not yet over, so I sold mine in December for the record. But if it was last year, if you made less than 12,200 that year, and just in general, you don't have to file income tax. So if that audio added up onto your normal income, which could be zero or whatever number, is less than 12,200, you're fine. This year, I don't know. I kind of wonder how income taxes will change a bit this year because of COVID. I kind of feel like it'll be lower. Or no, higher. Or maybe there just won't be as harsh a tax. I don't really know. But this year's kind of its own jungle of figuring that out. That we won't know that till next June, right? When they release more guidelines.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And this is all coming from someone who is 17 and completely new to tax shit. I mean, my dad's an accountant, so I know a bit of it, but not a fucking lot. This was a while. But yeah, that was 15 minutes of talking about that. But going back real quick to just audio, do you guys have any other comments on it, like hitting $1 specifically? Because I still think it's amazing.
I forget when you last talked about it, but how much was it when you started talking about it?
When I started talking about it, I assume that was around when I realized I had some. Like Audio said,
Yeah, like you signed up with that one website, I forget what it is. Alternatives to
yeah. Audio only started existing, I believe, in September, October, November. I forget. I know that's a big variable. I just don't want to look it up the second. I believe it was November though. May have been a couple months earlier of 2020, and I actually figured it. No, it wasn't November. So it was. I think it was September, and I got notified about it in November because they said by like December 1st, people who have not claimed their audio are not going to be able to claim it anymore. I'm like, oh shit. Well, today's like November 26th. I probably should go claim it. And I did. And I had like 13,000. And then my friend Cypher had some, and he said he didn't want it, so he gave me. It was like 800 something. And for the record, I've offered Cypher as well. Hey, if you want some of the money I made off it, because I ended up like realizing it's worth something, I can give you. And he's like, no, it's fine. But at that point, on the day I got it, I believe I looked it up, it was worth about 17 or 18 cents. It didn't really vary much. Like, if it went up a cent, it would be like, wow, that was how big that was at that point. So the fact that it was up to 21 cents was insane. And now that's not even considered insane growth for it. It's considered like, wow, great, cool, like a few cents. But a lot of people I knew in this crypto-minded server were like, sell now. Like this is audio like peaking in price for a while. And to be fair to them, it was peaking in price for about a month. And then that was no longer true. But yeah, that it was worth maybe 18 cents when I got it originally, and then it only grew by about 3 cents before I sold it, and I sold it I think like 2 weeks later because I was bored one night. I was looking to get into crypto, and then I realized by the way, this is how dumb I was with it. I didn't realize audio was a cryptocurrency. I thought it was like some shit you have on their website to like buy like some merch or some shit. I legitimately thought that's what it was. And then I looked it up and I realized, wait, audio is a cryptocurrency. And I have 14,000 of it, and I did the math really quick at 18 cents. It was still like $2,400. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of fucking money. The most I've had in my bank account is like $300. But yeah. So I don't know. I would if you're in a country that's not the US with all the fucking stupid laws on crypto. Because there are some countries that like have no regulation on them, it's really cool to see that. Invest in audio. I have a feeling it's probably not going to crash below $1, and if it does, it'll be for like 20 minutes, and then it'll come back up. But I don't see, unless audios themselves really fuck up. Which behind the scenes, I've had some issues with them with security related stuff, and I'm still having them, but I won't disclose any of that yet.
I know what it is, yeah.
Not just that, Charles. There's been a lot more since the last time we've talked. I am working that out with them privately. But until I work that out privately in full, or I don't, and I have to make a video on them or some shit, I'm not going to say anything there. But what I will say is audio itself, provided audios don't screw it up, looks like a worthy investment. Just yesterday, they held a meet on Clubhouse. What is Clubhouse, by the way? I've never heard of it.
That's new to me.
It's new to you.
Never heard of it either.
It said it was an app, and it looks like it's like a mobile Google Meets, but I've never ever heard of it. They had something on, they did like a public thing on Clubhouse where they announced they're doing stuff with NFTs, which if I remember correctly and understand correctly, that's like art traded over the blockchain, or like blockchain art hosted on the blockchain or some shit like that. But they've been kind of blowing up recently, and Audius is apparently looking to get into those. The only thing I will say is, Audius, before you get into fucking NFTs, add two-factor authentication, please. Like, actually, please. But yeah, I would say as long as you can buy audio without ridiculous Ethereum gas prices, or you have enough to invest that doesn't matter, and you can buy it legally, definitely invest in audio. It looks like it's going to go nothing but up, provided Audius don't fuck up. But yeah, I just want to talk about that because a lot of funding for stuff related to SATAMonkeys came directly from money made off of selling my audio token.
Let's just get that on like a t-shirt. Nothing but up. Fat 2020.
Sure. Watch it go fucking down. Watch it go to like 90 cents or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's my luck. Like, I say something and then the opposite happens. That's always how, or I do something and the opposite happens. Even delayed, by the way.
You said it wasn't gonna go up until late 2021.
No, late 2024.
It's trading above $1.
Yeah. That happens to be delayed, by the way. Zaire was over at my house like early 2020 or so. No, like mid 2020. And he used his screwdriver to unscrew my bop it. And I never saw it again. And I'm like, Zaire, I'm pretty sure you took it with you. Like, I've looked everywhere. I've torn apart my room like twice. I don't know where it is. Well, I found where it is. It was literally yesterday by accident. I have his old computer case in my room. Because he came to my house so we could swap to a new computer case. I got him. I have his old one in my room, and lodged in like the drive bay, and it didn't move after the multiple times I've moved that case around. Lodged in there was the fucking screwdriver. I just found it yesterday. This thing's been in there for like a year. And I just found it. And I'm so fucking, I don't know if it was him, because it's not something he would do to put it in there, but it's also really not something I would do either. So I don't know how it ended up in there. But yeah, like that shit happened. Like I told him, dude, I'm pretty sure you have it. I'm like never gonna see the screwdriver again. There it is. Found it yesterday looking for fucking a standoff. Not standoff, a screw thing for a CPU cooler, which I also can't find. I never found that. So I have it jerry-rigged up right now. But we'll move on here to the next story. This one has a source. This is from IGN. Some Bethesda games will be Xbox or PC exclusives under Microsoft. That's very self-explanatory, and there's not really a lot to go over other than that. The only thing noteworthy here is the fact that in the past, Microsoft was quoted as saying something along the lines of, on a case-by-case basis, Bethesda games and ZeniMax games will become exclusive to Xbox and PC rather than, all platforms. So it's interesting now that they're saying some, not a case-by-case basis. It's already some. I guess my biggest wonder and question to you guys is, do you think this means Elder Scrolls is going to be like a fucking Xbox exclusive?
I don't know if they make that an exclusive.
I can, yeah. I mean, it is their biggest.
Well, considering the fact that Skyrim is on your mother's toaster, yeah, probably might be at least PlayStation. Yeah,
I'm wondering. And also this technically builds off a report Tyler McVicker, formerly known as Valve News Network, did on Doom, like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, saying that at the very end, from his inside sources, it's very unclear as to how Microsoft views Doom and if they even like Doom and if they would continue it. So I wonder if and hope that Doom will continue as a thing under Microsoft. Yeah, it better. And two, I legitimately wonder if Doom will become Xbox and PC exclusive. Because something tells me it will. If anything, Doom will.
Doom was like born on PCs, so it'd kind of make a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Well, and when they say exclusive too, I think they mean just Xbox and PC. Especially for Microsoft with exclusivity. I mean, it says it partially in here, but for Microsoft and exclusivity, that only makes sense considering they own Windows. Like, of course they're gonna want it on PC.
Kind of obvious.
Yeah, but to me personally, and I've talked about this before, it's very unsubstantiated. Like, I don't have any source to back it up. This is just my thinking. Doom seems like the least, for lack of a better term, offensive franchise to make an Xbox exclusive. Out of all, I don't mean offensive as in
offensive series being the least offensive.
I just mean I don't think people will get up in arms about it as they would Skyrim or Fallout. I just can't see it happening. I really can't see it happening. And again, watch it happen now that I've said that. But yeah, I don't know. If you have a PS5, I mean, you really did pick the best console of the generation, but you're gonna have to deal with this, I guess, whenever their new games materialize.
You're just missing Bethesda.
Yeah.
Nothing lost, nothing gained.
If I were to predict it, it's gonna be, if there is another Doom game released during this console generation that isn't Doom Eternal, it'll probably be an Xbox and PC exclusive. The Indiana Jones game they just announced will probably be an Xbox exclusive. I believe they announced a game with Lucasfilm about Star Wars or something as well. That'll also be Xbox exclusive. And then probably like Fallout and Skyrim will probably maintain being all platforms. Yeah. The other thing I wonder, will games like, since Doom Eternal's come to the Switch, will games like newer editions in Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, since Skyrim did come to the Switch as well, will newer editions of that come to the Switch? Or will those also just be Xbox exclusive? If you don't recall, I believe part of the reason they put it on the Switch has something to do with Xbox Game Pass or something like that. I don't remember why. Because I know, I should say with Microsoft stuff, Ori and the Blind Wisps, or whatever the fuck that game's called, came to Switch. And that's a Microsoft published and made game. And that came to Switch. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with Game Pass. So I wonder if Skyrim. Am I the only one that calls Elder Scrolls Skyrim?
I call it Skyrim.
Yeah. I feel I'm just gonna say Skyrim for now because I hate correcting myself. Easier. Yeah, the new Skyrim. I wonder if that will come to Switch. The more I think about it, it's the Switch. It probably won't, but no one thought Skyrim itself would run the Switch, and they managed to make it run. And from my playing of it, it runs okay. Like, it doesn't run horribly. It doesn't run great, but it definitely doesn't run horribly. We'll move on here to yet another fucking article on nothing.
Nothing is something, sorta, kinda.
Yeah, specifically Carl Pye's Nothing. Showing off a tobacco pipe-inspired Concept 1 wireless earbud. This is from TechCrunch. How the fuck does this look like a tobacco pipe? This looks like the top of a metal straw. It looks like,
I know, an earphone.
It looks like the top of a metal straw. Also, that does not look like a comfortable earphone. That's flat.
It does not, yeah.
I really dislike that, a lot. I don't understand the design philosophy here. No one's ears are circles like that. Or ear cavities. They're not circles. I really hope this concept is just a concept and the final product looks more like an actual earbud. Because I think these are gonna fail instantly. There's no one's going to buy these if they maintain this shape. There's gonna be the first wave of people who buy them, they review them and say the shape fucking sucks and hurts your ears, and no one's gonna buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But a few other interesting things in this article to point out are the fact that despite the fact they bought Essential recently, it really doesn't seem as though they're going to release anything smartphone related. Because the idea behind, to quote TechCrunch here, the product is built with a semi-transparent design as part of an approach that features no screens, no dedicated devices, just barely noticeable technology that empowers us to be more human, end quote from Nothing. So they're probably not watching a phone, which is a bit unfortunate considering they bought Essential. I don't know why they bought Essential then. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're going for here.
I'll show myself out.
Yeah, I don't get this.
Let me just say, this alone kind of like lets us know what they're planning on doing, which is like they said, making it like tech feel like nothing. No screens, no dedicated, just barely noticeable technology that like can be integrated into our lives.
Yeah, the barely noticeable red and chrome plated fucking like exhaust pipe that sits in your ear. It really, the more I look at it, it looks like a fucking exhaust pipe, or like Turbo the Snail. I do not understand this design. I really hope this isn't final.
I'm just noting the fact that like they're using like their font for their brand. They're literally just using like the wiring font. You know, like on wires, it shows like the.
It's like a matrix font.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're really going for nothing.
Mm-hmm. So I hope also, by the way, I'm pretty sure that's just their logo reflecting. I kind of was hoping that black stripe down there was part of the design, because that doesn't, it looks better than just full chrome, but no, I think it's just a full chrome earbud, which really doesn't scream nothing, and like...
No, I think that is just a wire on the inside.
It could, that could be. Sorry, yeah, they did say it's
really
transparent.
We have like a dead-on look.
This lighting sucks because it makes it look chrome, but they say it's transparent. And even though I read that, or when I originally read the article, and I looked at this, I literally couldn't tell it was transparent. I thought it was chrome. I actually thought it was chrome.
Bobbin in there as well, whatever.
Yeah, I guess it is transparent. You're right. I can see that now. Is it acrylic?
How are you gonna find it if you drop it? Like,
well, it's got the white bottom.
Buy another one.
Buy another one. I really hope that's not acrylic, but I also really hope that's not glass. Because one's gonna scratch really fucking easily, and the other one's gonna break when you drop it. Neither are great. I don't know. I really don't know. Also, I don't think acrylic's gonna feel great in your ears. But yeah, I hope the fucking side of like a Mario pipe or whatever the fuck you want to call this gets a design change in the ear part specifically. The rest of it, it has its flaws, but it's fine. But the ear part looks like it's gonna be unwearable. It's not gonna be comfy. But it could also be the depth of field in the photo. I really don't know. So hopefully there's more than one like side angle shot of this thing released very soon, and it's not just this, and it's not actually what it's looking like it is in this photo. But yeah, we'll move on here to Microsoft being funny. This story is from Engadget. The only Cortana powered speaker is about to lose Cortana.
Wow,
nice.
I think the best part of this for me was the fact that there's only one Cortana powered speaker. Not the fact that
I didn't even know it existed. Like, let me just mention.
I heard about this. This was another one of those things, if I remember correctly, I read about right before like we originally started the first episode of the podcast. It was not the same day, like, you know, like around then. And I don't remember if we did end up covering it or not. But yeah, I knew there was one, and I'm like, oh, maybe there's gonna be at least 10. Right, there's gonna be at least 10. No, just fucking one, and now it's losing it. For context here, though, or at least for my take on it, there's no big loss. It's fucking Cortana. Cortana's never been really useful at all. It's the type of thing you accidentally click on in the bottom left of your Windows screen.
The first thing that I did when I got my computer is looked up how to remove it.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet I am not the only one.
Exactly. Now, the sucky part is if you actually uninstall it from the system, Microsoft tied like system-specific search thing, like indexing search results in the computer or searching stuff in the Windows search thing. They tied it to Cortana, so you lose a ton of functionality by doing that. Like actually uninstalling Cortana entirely, which fucking sucks, and I'm really annoyed by that because in older versions that wasn't true. But I have her all but removed. But yeah, I mean, The only big loss here is the people who bought the speaker, which is probably at least, like at most 20 people. That's a lot.
Yeah, how much was it? Do we know?
I have no idea. Let's look it up here.
Because I'm really hoping it, basically what they said in the article is that it's now a freaking, Bluetooth speaker.
Harden Carmen's Invoke. It is, 50, 60 bucks, 70 bucks. Yeah.
That's reasonable for a Bluetooth speaker, right?
It's reasonable for one. I mean...
But I'm wondering if that's because, this is going on. I'm hoping that the price wasn't higher before.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean if people bought this thing, first of all, I really feel bad for you. But if you bought this thing, marked up because it has Cortana on it, and all of a sudden they fucking axe that.
I love how this article...
I love an expensive speaker.
I love this article says the Invoke was a very good smart speaker, and also it has Cortana, and they don't see the humor in that. I don't know. Apparently, it was a great sounding smart speaker. I've looked up in terms of smart speakers. Okay, I've never looked into a smart speaker because I don't fucking understand that. It should connect via Bluetooth or via aux. I don't know why it would need to do anything else. No one was ever going to use a Cortana thing like an Alexa. I guess I don't understand this product. I don't understand why it exists. This is like if Apple... I can't even say that. I can't even make a joke about putting Siri in Alexa because they did that. They made the fucking HomePod.
I really... that's the thing, though. Alexa's on a pod. Alexa's in a speaker. Google's in a speaker. Siri's in a speaker. I think they wanted to jump on the train, but surprise... Nobody gives a shit about Cortana.
Yeah. Ooh. The difference between those is Google Assistant's probably the most useful in my experience.
Yeah.
Because, and I can see why Google would want to launch it, because Assistant's actually really good now. Alexa's runner-up. You can pretty much say almost anything about Google Assistant. It's the same for Alexa. It just lacks a few things, and it's a bit slower. Sometimes it doesn't understand things at all, and there's specific shit it can't answer. I read more into that a long time ago. I don't remember it in full, but let's say for now, let's just say they're comparable. Siri is fucking awful comparatively in just about every way. Any iOS user, yeah.
I think the only thing good about Siri is the enunciation. Because it has I think it has a way different system compared to everything else. It's more advanced.
Oh, I thought you meant the pronunciation of its name.
Siri to call you
oh, that meme.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if any other smart assistant can do that, and that's the only thing that stands out with Siri.
Well, the reason the HomePod debatably worked, if I remember correctly, Apple stopped selling it, so I'm not sure how big of a success it was. I know they sell the HomePod Mini and all the other versions now, but
didn't it look like a hockey puck?
You can still buy the HomePod. It's still on there.
Oh, you can. Yeah, rather no, they don't look like a hockey puck. They're just kind of like an orb. But Melon, you can still buy it, you said?
Right.
Yeah, you can still buy the original one, which honestly I don't know why you would.
Yeah, I heard it sounded good and had some cool speaker tech, but nothing Alexa didn't have. The only reason Siri works on a smart speaker in concept is literally because it's Apple, and Apple users will buy the Apple product. They know that if they start selling that, they will get sales. Cortana does not have the same reach as Siri or any of them. It's that annoying thing that people have seen as annoying since 2014 when Windows 10 launched.
Yeah.
2014, 2016, somewhere around that. I don't remember what year Windows 10 did launch at. No one liked it.
Benefit of the doubt, probably a little bit later after Windows 10 launched. Ooh, what's Cortana? And then 2 weeks later, I hate it.
Yeah. I've never heard of a single person who's like Cortana, for the record. And I can exaggerate, but that's not an exaggeration. I just have never heard of anyone who liked it.
And there's multiple articles out there trying to tell you how to remove it. It's pretty simple too.
Yeah. So I don't know, this is only really a big loss to people who bought this specific speaker for the Cortana compatibility. But then again, I don't know why else you'd buy this speaker except for that one reason. Because there are better smart speakers in that, I'm not sure.
If it's not the cheapest and it's not the most expensive, then there's really no other reason to buy it.
Yeah. So I don't, or if it's not bang for the buck, and this isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand this product at all. But rest in peace to the Invokes Cortana functionality, and I hope all 5 users who used it can cope with the loss. Yeah, that's this fucking joke of a story. I cannot comprehend why this product exists. Looking at the comments real quick. People are now questioning if people on like XDA forums or just Android hackers would be able to potentially hack it to have, what is this here, assistant or anything.
Yeah, if you can get assistant on there, that wouldn't be lost.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. But there'd be a lot you have to manually code, I have a feeling. And people are saying Alexa, you're not gonna get Alexa on there.
Like, didn't they make it like relatively simple to like embed like assistant? Because I remember seeing like assistant on Chrome, and it wasn't made. No, not assistant on Chrome. Assistant on Windows 10, and it was like a third-party thing. I didn't look at it.
Embedding it into Android is completely different than that Google or that thing someone made for PC. I know what you're talking about. That's completely different. You'd have to tell it what is this and what is this microphone and what does this do and how to use this. And there's a lot of that you have to manually do.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the only hope for those people who still want
give it a shot.
Smart speaker.
See how it goes.
But yeah, we'll move on here to a story from ZDNet. Malicious apps on Google Play drop banking Trojans on user devices. The dropper was loaded into otherwise innocent-looking software in each of the 10 apps were utilities, including Cake VPN. Who would ever fucking download something named Cake VPN? Pacific VPN, Beat Player, QR Code Scanner Max, and QR Recorder. Sorry, Q Recorder.
QR Recorder.
Yeah. The utilities functionality is ripped from existing legitimate open source Android apps. So it's the equivalent of an asset swap, but a malicious asset swap. A malicious ass swap. Yeah, Matt, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Dubbed Class 82, CPR says the newly discovered dropper has been designed to deliver financial malware. Once triggered, second stage payloads are pulled from GitHub, including MRAT and AlienBot. If the infected device prevents installation of applications from unknown sources, Class A2 prompts the user with a fake request pretending to be Google Play services, requesting the user to allow the installation every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds.
Oh.
Can you fucking imagine, dude? Holy shit.
That's a hint, ain't it?
Yeah, you're never getting that shit off. You're gonna have to like super quickly navigate to delete the app. Well, but even then, it's already installed itself. It's not going away. So, yikes. If you've installed fucking Cake VPN for some reason, uninstall it, reset your phone, do whatever. I don't know why you'd install this shit. In my experience, the only free VPN that doesn't have fucking viruses is BetterNet, and I'm pretty sure they just sell your data that they can collect directly to the Chinese government. So, I mean, if you're looking for a VPN that's free, there's your like one option, or just use like OpenVPN protocol and host your own. It's not going to be as fast or anything, but it's better than this. QR barcode scanner Max is my favorite on there because I have like both a different barcode and QR scanner app, but they're both free.
My Samsung phone has a embedded one.
Mine doesn't. My 5G doesn't have that built in. But
I wasn't paying much attention.
QR code, what is it? I don't remember the names of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, mine does too. Yeah.
The two I have are both free, highly rated, and I believe are open source, but they've been on the Play Store for like years, and they're fine. They don't have anything in them that's bad, to my knowledge. And one of them hasn't even been updated since like Android 7 or 6 actually, and it still works. But yeah, I don't know why you get QR barcode scanner Max. Like, what is the Max version? What is the equivalent of a professional version of a fucking QR/barcode scanner do? What the fuck does that do?
It's Bluetooth connected to your coffee maker, so you can scan a QR code and make your coffee.
Dude, the saddest part is I can imagine something like that existing.
It's not even like too big an exaggeration.
Like near future, that could become a thing. You get like 12 different Keurig things that can cycle
kind of
through.
a thing with NFC. You can do it yourself.
No, I just mean with the coffee thing specifically. You get like 12 different Keurig things and like a spinning thing, and you scan a barcode, and it's like, oh, okay, you want this barcode of Keurig thing? All right, just wheel the thing to this, and we'll drop it in. Like I can imagine that existing, and I hate that I can.
I could probably make it myself with Bluetooth.
Make like the most useless product ever that's sell at least 50,000 units.
I don't even drink coffee, so.
But yeah, if you have...
I could only see that working in like the far future where there's like coffee printers or something like that.
No, that's something easy to do.
Replicator just fucking... or something, yeah.
No, you just have to put like a you would literally just have to code this wheel to recognize what, like, this code means this thing, okay, and then just put it in some fucking website that converts it to a barcode, and then like print it out, put it on your wall, and scan it on your phone, and have your phone either hooked up to the coffee maker or some way wirelessly hooked up, and it's like, oh, this is scanned, okay, turn to this thing, since this is, or rather, not this is scanned, but
alternatively, you could just load it yourself.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
exactly.
It's not
that's what I'm talking about. It would make more sense if you had a replicator.
No, yeah, I'm just saying it wouldn't be that hard to make. That's something that could be made in a month. But it's a useless product that you'd see in like a made-on-TV commercial.
Really poor to do it though.
It would sell like 50,000 units, and it'd be the most useless shit ever. But you'd still make money off it, most likely. Yeah. There you go, free.
Anyways,
free fucking invention for someone watching. There you go. Make that.
Go right ahead.
Move on to a story.
I just want to mention one more thing. Just to go over, for VPNs, use BetterNet or build your own VPN.
Don't use BetterNet. No, if you need a free one for like 10 seconds, use BetterNet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it in any other way. You're much better off.
Then just build your own. Use the freaking.
You're much better off just paying like $8 for 1 month of Molvat. That, like, in my opinion. And I would not trust PIA anymore. I used to be able to recommend them, but I really can't after who they were bought out by. But we'll move on here to a story from Lifehacker. Apple is discontinuing the iMac Pro. Now what? This article goes on to compare the performance of the iMac Pro versus a bunch of other shit Apple's released in the past like 2 to 3 years, and shows how the iMac Pro really doesn't perform all that much better than a lot of it.
Mac Mini's doing way better.
If I recall, isn't this the same iMac Pro that Louis Rossmann and Linus Tech Tips did that collaboration on, and Linus could not find a replacement screen for at all? And I think we may have covered that, or at least
no. Was it?
There it is.
Was it the screen?
Yeah, it was the screen. They couldn't get Apple to do. Or no, it was because his employee Anthony dropped the screen and it cracked, and they need a new one, and Apple wouldn't. Even though they said they will spend however much money it costs, Apple said they would not sell them one because they've tampered with the device.
Yeah, I thought they roasted the motherboard.
Nah, the board was fine. But Anthony dropped the screen, and he was trying to install it, and it just slid down and hit the desk.
He said sparks came out, which, with how the power supply was exposed, yeah, maybe that happened.
I don't think that was the iMac Pro thing, Charles.
Oh, am I thinking of someone else?
Just wanna get this down. Is the iMac Pro the cheese grater?
Rob, it shows it at the top of the article. It's the flat one.
No, I think it was that.
No. The Mac Pro, yeah, that was probably what it was. The iMac Pro was the one with the screen thing, Charles. Not the sparks.
No. Yeah. I mean the all-in-one. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Oh, so the iMac Pro's the all-in-one.
The one with the exposed power supply.
Okay.
I'll have to look
Mac
into it,
Pro
Charles.
is the cheese grater.
Yeah, the Mac Pro is the cheese grater.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say, I
don't know. I kind of feel bad for iMac Pro users. because although now it's not considered a great value, I remember at the time, even Rossman, I believe, considered it, and don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I don't want to fucking trash Louis Rossman's name by saying something wrong, but I believe he said that it was a great value, and there were other reviewers that also said it was a great value for what you got. That changed pretty quickly when the Radeon Vega stuff, or AMD's Radeon Vega line, they just kind of fucking forgot about and just never really updated and left and never talked about because it never caught on. So that changed pretty quickly there, and then Apple's released better stuff since 2017, obviously. But I do remember at the time it was widely seen as a really good like price per performance. It was great, and if you built your own thing versus the iMac Pro, you couldn't really come close to the specs. Well, you could, I should say, you could come close, but you couldn't get there. You couldn't get to the same performance for what they were charging. So it was one of the few cases where what Apple was charging for a device was actually less than building it yourself. With some exceptions like the fact that the screen's built in and it's 5K, but it wasn't actually 5K and stuff like that. But I don't know. It sucks to see what was considered a value product now being discontinued. Then again, I understand why it's being discontinued. It's not even that. I think it's just because everything's obsolete at this point.
There's a good chance that factored in though.
Yeah. I think probably the nail in the coffin was the fact that the Radeon Vega shit is just, it never fucking caught on, and it had tons of issues. There's a reason when people think about, the GPUs AMD's released in the last few years, they're like, oh yeah, they did the RX 3, I believe it was 70, then the 480, and then, by the way, this is across years. These were part of their own generations, like the 300 series. But there was the RX 300 series, the 400 series, the 500 series, and then the new the RX 5500 XT and the 5600 XT. People skip over that 1 year where they released the Vegas, and it's so funny to me that no one remembers it. It's just treated as if it wasn't a thing, because it was originally targeting gamers. It didn't catch on, so then they said, okay, it's actually great for enterprise and editing videos, and it didn't catch on, and then it had a bunch of bugs with cooling, and or bugs in its own firmware related to cooling, and then it just fucking, that was it. They just stopped updating it. Which is a far cry from what they have now, where their newest GPUs can rival NVIDIA for the first time in many years. But yeah. I don't know, rip iMac Pro. At this point, by the way, it probably isn't very priced to performance.
F in the chat, boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Rip iMac Pro. I'm not sure how to feel about it now that it could be seen as priced to performance because of the GPU shortage. But it's also really old, and it's running a GPU that is borderline obsolete. Because even no matter how recent it was, it's just like AMD don't actively do shit with it. So yeah, iMac Pro is no more. I will forever really enjoy those videos Rossman did with Linus Tech Tips on it though, and
yep,
those were great.
Did you see the Electro Boom one?
I did not see the Electro Boom one.
Where they shocked the RAM?
That Linus Tech Tips collab. Yes, I did see that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We'll move on here to a story from Eurogamer. Fortnite's next season begins with the Battle Royale's first single-player narrative sequence, which, I mean, technically ignores the fact that Save the World could be played single-player and had a narrative, but we'll just forget about that for now.
Only freaking Battle Royale exists.
Now, for the record, this talks about like how Agent, whatever the fuck his name is, Agent Jones, you'll play through the conclusion of Agent Jones' mission in the Zero Crisis finale. I don't know who fucking Agent Jones is. I don't play Fortnite.
He used to be Jonesy.
He's the blonde guy. He's epic.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I really find it funny how their narrative-driven multiplayer experience didn't work. I shouldn't say narrative-driven, but their multiplayer experience that was more narrative-driven than a Battle Royale for sure, never caught on. So now in their Battle Royale, they're integrating a narrative experience. It's single-player, but I don't know if that's a plus or minus in this case.
Money back.
Man, one of these days I should re-download Save the World and see if they ever added anything. The only time I remember them adding stuff actually worth it was Christmas 2018. That's my only like good memory with it. They added a lot of cool skins. I think they had one cool map, and then after that it was just nothing. It was just a drought. And they already announced that they're not really going to be developing it much anymore. But yeah, I don't know if you play Fortnite, enjoy the single player experience, which seems really out of place for that game. We are really stretched for time here, so we're gonna move on pretty quickly. This one's from IGN. Aliens Fire Team meets 6 new xenomorph types. IGN first. I want to be pretty clear here. I did not know there was a new alien game coming out until I saw this, let alone that there are 6 different alien types in it. But looking at the gameplay, IGN here, it literally looks to be like Colonial Marines, but good.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't know. I know there are many people who've said in the past, the Alien franchise does not work as like a third-person shooter, and that seems to be what this is. So I'm not really sold on it yet. I definitely have to wait and see how this turns out.
Yeah. Third-person shooters, in my opinion, don't work very well in enclosed spaces like Alien games should be in.
Yeah. And the fact that too, people found ways in the code, like literally change one variable in the code ways in Colonial Marines to
improve the AI.
Yeah, to improve the AI and fix the game. Who just like moaned in the background?
Yeah, that was my dad.
All right, Charles' dad in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was like one line of code that was disabled, and it looked like by accident that improved the AI a ton, like an insane amount. It didn't make Alien Colonial Marines good, but it made it a lot better than it was. And the fact that they never actually went back and like updated the game on Steam, all you had to do was open the fucking code, change one thing, and push the update. That's like a 1 meg or less update, and they didn't even do that. It doesn't give me hope for, and I don't, to be fair, this is the same developers, but just like the rights holders, the fact that they didn't even do that, it doesn't give me a lot of hope for another third-person shooter Alien game at all. But this may also just be their
little faith.
This may just be their do-over. So I don't know. It's a new developer. I guess I should give them their own chance. But also the which one is this here? This doesn't say the type of alien is, but the second alien there, isn't that the standard one? Like the one that's in all the films and everything?
The drone?
Yeah, the drone. Because it looks the most like it. I don't know. They didn't label one standard. I know
of a. Oh wait,
the drone?
I might have been looking at the wrong one.
The drone is the second image, 2 of 6.
No, I don't. Oh wait, for some reason it's being weird.
All right.
Yes, the head might be a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
That looks about right. Yeah.
I don't know. Because they don't exactly have like a normal alien or like classic alien labeled here. So I have to assume that's it. Yeah. So I don't know. I really didn't know this game was a thing. When is this released? Does this have a release date yet? They recently announced. Let's go to this article real quick. This was announced on March 2nd of 2021. Wow. Apparently it was teased like 3 years ago. Okay, I never knew that. No release date. Okay. And rating pending too. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm half interested in it because I want a new Alien game. I love
the name hints that maybe the aliens are gonna be part of the like multiplayer experience. Maybe
that'd be cool. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all.
So.
Like, didn't Alien Colonial Marines have like the same thing?
I don't think so. I don't remember Colonial Marines.
Or am I thinking of a different Aliens game?
You might be thinking of a different Alien game. I don't remember Colonial Marines having like player alien versus. You're probably thinking of Evolve.
No, I'm not thinking of Evolve. Not at all.
I don't know. I hope this game does end up well and the developers don't get fucking Colonial Marines.
Maybe it was Aliens versus Predators or something.
Maybe. Move on here to a story about a game that also no one here seemed to have heard about. This one's from Polygon. Disintegration developer V1 Interactive shuts down. I don't remember. I did not remember the name of this game, but I remember this not concept art. This cover art they have here, of the game. That's all I remember. I've not seen gameplay of it. I didn't know anything about it, but apparently the studio that launched in.
I do kind of remember. I think I saw that on Steam. I think it was in my queue or something.
That's probably where I've seen the cover art before, but I never looked at like the gameplay of it or anything.
I watched a little bit of the gameplay before we started. I'm thinking it's like one of those
I think it
that's
had
completely
mediocre
story
reviews.
driven.
Is it multiplayer or single player?
There is
It didn't seem like it was multiplayer, no.
Gotcha.
But I think it's more like story than gameplay. But either way, it's just sad to see that they make one game and then they get shut down.
I probably didn't make enough money. I mean, to be fair, their marketing was pretty awful. With like, no one here's really heard of it beyond seeing it once.
Knew about it.
Yeah. It also
we did
looks.
see it. We just saw the reviews were like really bad, and then
I just found
blocked it
about
out of our memories.
Oh, I never looked at the reviews. I just remember seeing the image. Like, oh, that's cool.
It was mixed on Steam, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember this just looked like Destiny or Anthem. It actually looked a lot like Anthem if you look at that image.
It when I first saw it, I was probably thinking Anthem.
Yeah. You know, the more I think about it, that's probably what I thought it was too. I probably thought this was Anthem and just passed over it because it looks very, very similar design-wise to Anthem, especially with the four-armed robot thing in the background. It's hard not to see it as Anthem.
Apparently those are blasters, but whatever.
Those are Oh, yeah, they are. They look like arms from a distance.
I know.
But yeah, rip in peace. This game, I never ever played
V1.
it. Yeah, V1 Interactive, worst name. Watch there be a V2 Interactive. Like, watch them actually just start a new one. Yeah. Rip V1 Interactive and rip this game. Move on here to our final story, which was a last-minute addition, because I forgot this was happening today. I actually was going to cover this when it happened, and then I just didn't. I don't remember if I didn't remember or they didn't announce when it was happening, but this happened today. This is from Yahoo Finance, but this isn't really their like news from them. You can find this anywhere. Roblox went public on the stock market after saying they would a while ago. And it's pretty fucking cool because Roblox is a stock I've thought for a long time will do pretty fucking amazing in the stock market. They make like billions of dollars a year off of just microtransactions alone. Like that's their whole business. And they made that much
from children, literally.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's not like it's unwilling. You can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no
giving something in exchange.
Yeah, and it's not loot boxes. That's the good part.
Yeah.
Out of all things, like little kids could spend money on with microtransactions, Roblox avatar shit is probably one of the better options compared to a lot of other shit. Like 2K games with the loot box shit for the basketball stuff, and EA games, etc.
FIFA and stuff like that.
It began trading at $64.50 a share. Well above the reference price of $45. I was actually like looking at the Robinhood, like at their stock, by the way. And I was gonna buy it the second it came out, but it was just said later today. You'll be able to buy it. And then I look away, and I think like maybe 20 minutes later, and I didn't realize this till an hour later. It went public. I'm like, oh shit. So then I bought in at fucking $72, and then of course. Signature Matt move, it just went back down and it never reached $72 again today. It's like 70. So I've lost $2 or something like that. It's cool. I put in $18.
You're gonna go broke if you keep this investment up.
The only investment I have that's made money is the $15 I put in Bitcoin like a week ago. Bitcoin's still going up, and I put it in at a good price. So
Nice.
I've made what I've lost. For Roblox on Bitcoin, like $2. So
That's
yeah.
good.
And I'm not taking that Bitcoin out most likely unless I stop using Robinhood because you can't transfer it to any other wallet. So, yeah, cool shit there. At least you don't have to deal with transfer fees. Yeah, Roblox went public though. So if you were looking to buy or invest in Roblox, which I personally would have loved to do years ago because I always thought Roblox would be an amazing investment. Now you can. Now you are completely able to invest in them. I hope this doesn't. I heard. No, I won't bring that up. But yeah, that's really all we got.
But happy Mario Day. It's March 10th.
Oh yeah, it's
Mario.
March fucking 10th.
Yahoo!
Yeah, March 10 Day. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be it on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or all the other fucking small platforms that Anchor put this out to that I've never heard of. Thank you guys so much for, even if you're listening on one of those small platforms, thank you guys so much for listening. It does mean a lot. And yeah, we'll be back with another podcast next week. I'm Earth the Fat. I said I was not going to do the name thing at the end anymore because it just wastes time. But and I'm here with Bear is Some, or Small Boy Bear, Charles, the Club Me, and Melon Rap. And
Who was back?
Bear was back. Yeah, and this is
I
us.
was back.
Oh yeah, you were back. My bad. You were back.
I've been back.
And this is us.
We're back.
And this is us signing off.